Hello everybody, if you're new here then hello, my name is Kelsey Hutchings and I'm owner of Elska Beauty, which is a salon in Hampshire. Now today I'm just having a good old chat and catch up with you all whilst doing my makeup, and I'm also going to introduce you to the newest member of the Hutchings family, so if you'd like to find out more then carry on watching. So as I fancied a good old catch up today, I am going to be doing my makeup whilst chatting to you guys, but I'm not really going to be focusing on it, if that makes sense, as then it won't be like a tutorial. It'll just be me chatting whilst doing my makeup. So we can jump straight into it. You know, it is a Sunday after all, so go for a bit more chilled out look, you know. Lately, with being in lockdown, I have done my makeup most days, believe it or not, but it's mainly just to make me feel better and or pass a bit of time. It's a bit of a win-win sometimes. But I love this when I fancy a bit more of a natural, easy makeup, the Morph 2 Hint Hint Skin Tint. I did a little review on it, but I absolutely love it, so that's what I'm going to use today. Oh, I've put some red root spray on, but you can still see my roots, can't you? Let's not talk about it, lockdown life, but I am booked in on April 12th and I can't wait to have my hair cut and coloured. Luckily, my hairdresser is one of my best friends, so we tend to fit each other in as quickly as humanly possible when we get these dates from lockdown that we can start opening again. But yeah, I know I haven't filmed for a while, a couple of weeks, just because I've been sort of fairly busy doing other things or not really felt in the right headspace to film. Also, you know, again with it being lockdown, sometimes there's not that much to talk about or to like do, you know, that I can bring you guys along with me. So yeah, I just tend to like to film when I feel like it, quality rather than quantity and all that jazz. But yeah, I feel like lately there's been quite a lot to talk about, and yeah, as we know, there's always positive things that go on in the world as well, but unfortunately it doesn't tend to get reported about as much as it should, and I feel like there's been a lot of stuff going on in the world, in the media, in the news, which has been a hot topic for a lot of people. You know, we had the Meghan and Harry interview, there was happened to Sarah Everard, there was you know, like the Caroline Flack documentary that people were talking about. I know Roman Kemp has done a documentary on suicide where he lost his best friend. I haven't watched that yet, but it's on my planner ready to watch. I just feel like there's been, you know, just a lot of things to talk about. Obviously there's been the ongoing topic of COVID, but that can be rather exhausting to watch. Yes, I do build up the coverage of this. It's super thin, it's like water. In case you think I'm being a Sunday cake face. I don't really know why I've put more on actually, I didn't really need it, but got too engrossed in the chat, didn't I? Yeah, so I feel like there's just been so much to talk about. You know, and I've seen so much negativity online, you know, people arguing about stuff or, you know, getting really easily offended by stuff, and it's just, yeah, it's just been a lot, and I feel like online, particularly lately, has been quite a negative space. I feel like with Meghan and Harry, I don't really want to get into it. I feel like it's a bit too political and all that jazz, just don't really want to get into it online. But I wish them all the best, and I hope they are, yeah, hope they're alright, hope they're happy, really. Last thought on that one. I'm really running low on my favourite concealer. So I'm just topping it up with a little bit of the Misguided one. In case you think, why is she putting so much concealer on? I've like scraping the barrel on this. Oh, yeah. Yeah, and I feel like what happened, you know, with Sarah Everard is just, it's just awful, isn't it? Yeah, it's horrible. I think it resonates with a lot of people, you know, obviously particularly women. It's opened our eyes a bit more. It's just awful. I can't imagine what her family are going through. You know, her parents, her husband, her friends. You just can't imagine it, can you? It's like your worst nightmare. And that poor woman, I mean, she just must have been absolutely terrified. But the reason I think why I say it sort of opened our eyes a bit is not because we're sort of ignorant or blind to these things happening, because obviously sadly they do still happen. I think it opened my eyes in the fact that you sort of realise that as a woman you do all these things, but sometimes I think you do these things but you don't necessarily always think about why. You just do them, oh, because it's safe to do that, oh, I better do this just to be on the safe side. And then it actually took it to another level where I thought, well, what am I protecting myself from? You know, what am I being safe from? And then you think, well, in case I get attacked, or in case my bag gets nicked, or, you know, in case someone's tried to rob me or, you know, attack me, or, and then you think, God, we shouldn't have to be doing these things, you know, but we do. You know, we've been taught about it from a young age, and yes, we know it's not all men, but we don't know which men, so therefore it makes you wary of all men, you know, which is wrong. You know, we all know and have, you know, wonderful men in our lives, so it's just yeah, you can say it just makes you a bit speechless, doesn't it? And also makes me sad, because I think, you know, in generations to come, you know, and a lot of my friends are parents, you know, it's all these things you've got to teach your kids. You know, you should be teaching your son about how, you know, men's behaviour could intimidate women, you know, what not to do, what to do. And we've got to teach our daughters, you know, to protect yourself and be safe, you know. And it's just, I think it is just sad. You know, there's lots of scenarios where, you know, me and Jack have talked about it, and obviously, yeah, but a woman wouldn't do that, or a woman wouldn't choose to do this because we don't deem it, you know, safe to do so. And, you know, I've always said, ever since I first started going out, you know, like 18, 19, that I would never let any of my friends walk home by themselves. You know, I would either walk with them and then get picked up from, you know, their house, or I would make sure that whoever's picking me up can, you know, take them back as well, you know. But it is just scary, and it just really does open your eyes, and it makes you angry, because you think, I shouldn't have to do these things, but you do. So yeah, it's just sad. I feel like it's been quite mentally tough lately with all these sort of big, you know, controversial, you know, things happening, that even if the world was normal, you know, it would be difficult. But I feel like it's even harder, you know, sort of in your head at the moment, because not only have you got the pandemic and everything that brings, but you've also got all these other sort of things happening in the world. And yeah, I'm just thinking of her family. This camera and lighting makes my like bronzer on my forehead look really orangey, but I promise you in real life it's not. But yeah, I am really massively thinking of her family, you know, still. I think that's again one of the sad things, you know, these headlines and events and things happen, you know, but the world and media move on. But obviously the you know, friends and family of, you know, of the victim, you know, doesn't, and, you know, and can't. And yeah, I know that they'll be in my thoughts for a long time, and it will definitely make me think even more about, you know, my safety and what should I do this and should I do that, which is sad, but unfortunately it is the reality. And it always has been, but we need to think about it. You know, it's come to the surface again, hasn't it? Have you guys watched the Flack documentary? I feel like it's one of them things that everybody needs to watch. I think whether you knew who she was, whether you didn't, whether you liked her, whether you didn't, I just think it's something that everybody should watch, and definitely your kids as well, you know, teenagers, you know, just everybody needs to watch it basically. Me and Jack watched it last week, and it was even more, well, not even more, but it was just really eye-opening. More in the fact that, as cliche as it is, you just truly, truly never know what somebody is going through, or what their private life is like, you know, what they've been through in their life. It's so eye-opening in that regard. And it was really sort of sad to hear that Caroline had always struggled with heartbreak and how to deal with it, you know, and rejection and stuff like that. And the amount of hate that she got online is just disgusting. There's absolutely no need for it, and it's just horrific. Like, I think people forget that there is, you know, a human being at the end of these Twitter accounts, Instagram, Facebook, And, you know, social media needs to be held accountable as well. You know, we shouldn't be able to create fake accounts. You shouldn't be able to post abuse. You know, if your comment includes, you know, an offensive word, it should block you from posting it. You know, I feel like social media needs to be held accountable. There's so much more that they can do. And you shouldn't be able to still create fake accounts. You know, it blows my mind. But how anybody can abuse somebody online is just mind-blowing to me. Like, how you can sit there and type all these abusive, horrible messages, you know, telling people to die, telling them that you hate them, saying that you think they're really ugly, you know, saying that they should quit their job, saying that, you know, just all these just horrific things that, let's just face it, if you abuse somebody online, you're a scum. Like, let's just put it out there. Like, it's another one of them subjects that's come up lately. It's just made me speechless. Like, me and Jack were watching it and we just kept saying, like, how, again, one, why is it even possible to post these things? And two, how and why would you post these things? It's just awful. You know, and Caroline's family was saying that she was just always on her phone, and even though it was negative stuff, she just couldn't help but look, you know, she wanted to know what was going on. She wanted to know what the headlines were, what people were saying about her. You know, and the fact that, you know, the British media, again, isn't held accountable, is allowed to print these horrible headlines as well, again, is just completely beyond me. It shouldn't be allowed. You know, and then they're the same newspapers that preach about being kind. You know, it's just laughable, and it's disgusting. And it's so incredibly sad, because she was very much, you know, a well-loved woman. You know, and the fact that you can say that you know, when they were talking about when, and sorry if you haven't watched it, you can skip past it if you haven't, I'm not giving too much away, but when they had Ollie Murs on there and they were talking about when they were presenting X Factor, and they were saying how much abuse they were both getting, but Ollie was saying that for some reason she was getting so much more abuse, you know, saying how awful she's at her job, how ugly she is, how much they hate her, how annoying she is. It's just, you would no way say these things to somebody's face. And even if you would, then you're an even more vile person. Like, you don't know this person, you can't say that you hate them. Or, you know, if they're annoying you so much, it's a TV channel, hun, just turn over the channel. You know, it's just really sad. I can't imagine, you know, just constantly having to battle that. And the way that the newspapers manipulated the story as well. Like, there was a picture of, like, blood all over the bed, and it was like, you know, Caroline's, you know, beating up her boyfriend. And it turns out that that was actually her blood from when she tried to hurt herself or something like that. And it was just so manipulative, and it's just awful. It's so sad. And I really hope that we learn from it, but I'm sure we won't, as usual. I think it's just important for us to have these discussions, you know, with our friends, with our family. You know, if you've got kids, you know, educate them, nieces, nephews, just anyone, just have the chat, you know, talk about it. Make sure that they're not getting, you know, any abuse online. You know, even like the Piers Morgan life stories with Gemma Collins. Again, I don't know if you've watched it, or again, whether you like Gemma Collins or not, it was still quite a good watch. But yeah, I watched that, and even, you know, all the online abuse and stuff that she gets, it's just horrific. You know, and she seems to sort of take it on the chin, but that's going to affect anybody. You know, whether you've got a thick skin or not, you shouldn't have to deal with that. And I just think if you passionately hate these people so much that you've never met, never done anything to you, like, it's weird. You know, and I feel like if you see anybody commenting, especially somebody that you know, if you see anybody commenting, you know, negative things like that on, you know, somebody's Instagram, Twitter, or whatever, you know, you should call them out on it. You know, these celebrities read it, and, you know, it's just horrible. And what confuses me more, if you don't like these people, why are you watching their programmes? Why are you following them on Instagram? Why are you even bothering to comment? You know? I just absolutely blows my mind. It really, really does. Oh, sorry, things are getting a bit heavy on here a bit today, but I feel like it's important to talk about these things, especially if you aren't even aware that these documentaries and things have been happening. Like I say, I feel like there's been a lot of things on the TV and in the media lately that, you know, we need to talk about. And I like talking to you guys about it. So there we go. This is just how we spend our Sundays. So other thing that I watched that I feel like everybody needs to watch is the Kate Garraway documentary, Finding Derek. It was on this week. I'm sure you'll be able to download it if you haven't watched it or got it recorded. But again, I feel like that was a really good watch. You know, it wasn't like, you know, you're not gonna, well, you might do, but it's not like a really cryy thing, if you know what I mean. It was just really interesting and really eye-opening, I would say. And yeah, it does get a bit emotional at times, but like I said, I think it's more like interesting and eye-opening, you know, especially to people that, you know, don't think COVID's a thing. You know, it's just what that woman has gone through. I just think, what a woman. I mean, even when she was on I'm a Celeb, you know, she's so lovely. You know, it's just, you can just tell she's just such a nice person, you know, really like humble and down to earth, and just comes across as sort of quite normal, even though, you know, she's such a big, you know, presenter. Everyone knows who she is. But I feel like it's just really interesting, and again, something that everybody should watch. It definitely opened my eyes. And, you know, we all do it, we all say it, we all think it. It just really puts your life into perspective. You know, you think there's this woman that's just like had her husband in hospital for over a year now with a condition that, you know, doctors have such limited knowledge on, you know, and there we are, you know, worrying that we're not going to get the Easter egg that we want, or wondering where that top's going to come back in stock, or, you know, even way more important things, like how we're going to afford the food shop and stuff like that, you know. And the food shop thing is valid, but I think, yeah, I'm rambling a bit, aren't I? But I just think it just really puts your life into perspective. You know, I finished watching it and I just thought, I am so lucky that, you know, my friends and my family are all, you know, happy and healthy. Boring or whatever, but let's face it, these are the things that are important, and sometimes it takes watching something like that to make you think, yeah, you know, all these all these, what's the word? I can't think of it. Basically, all these minuscule things that we worry about. So basically, watch that. It's a good and interesting watch. It's definitely an eye-opener. Does anyone else brush their brows more than their actual hair? I seem to be on a bit of a TV recommendation hype. That, on a slightly lighter note, the DNA Journeys series on ITV is a good watch. Super, super interesting. And even though I like watching it, I sort of think these people could afford to do this anyway. Like, you should get some like normal people, you know, normal fabulous people like me and you on there, because I would love to learn more about my family, especially as I must still have roots in Denmark, and I feel like there's a lot of unknown things in my family. So yeah, that would be interesting, wouldn't it? The Alan Carr one was really funny. I really enjoyed that one, and the Kemps, for slightly more obvious reasons, but obviously it was interesting as well. But I'm telling you now, right, if I was told I was about to meet a new member of my family and Roman Kemp walked in, I'd be alright with it. Even Martin Kemp, to be honest. You know, they're all just like casually sat there and I'd be like, so. Although that'd be a bit weird, wouldn't it? Because then he'd be related to me. So yeah, maybe scrap that. I've got the Misguided Beauty No Filter Plumping Lip Gloss. There's like 3 for 2 on loads of stuff on Superdrug at the minute, and I needed some new highlighters. I've hit pan on my one, and I needed a new lip gloss as well, so I thought I would try this. But I find the packaging like a bit awkward because you have to press this about 14,000 times before anything actually comes out. Makeup is done. I feel like a little vintage doll in my cardigan today. It's pretty, isn't it? But it's quite different. I quite like the colours like this. It's actually really cosy. And obviously it's green, because we all know how much I love green. But yeah, on a slightly lighter note, I am going to introduce you to the new member of the Hutchings family. So this is Rio. Please don't put it on me. Ah! It's just flown onto my mirror. Thank you very much. You're not going to come back and say hello? Okay. He's probably going to go for my earrings or play with my hair. So I might have to take my earrings out. He is a yellow-sided green cheek conure. You might have already seen him on my socials, but I wanted to introduce him formally on YouTube. Make your little YouTube debut. He's just chilling on top of my mirror at the moment. We have had him for just under a month, yeah, so, well, 3 weeks. He's settled in really well, so I'm just laughing because he's like doing what looks like pull-ups on my mirror. Yes, I know, I'm just talking about you. He's fitted in really well. Neither of us have had a bird before, but cut a long story short, we did a lot of research. Jack's always wanted one. So we decided on him. They are part of the parrot family, but as you can see, they are, well, you can't see, but you did see, that they are quite small for parrots. And he's now just hopped onto my curtains. But yeah, he's settled in really well. We managed to tame him within 4 days, which means just get him used to us so he's comfortable to climb on us and all that kind of thing. So yeah, he's settled in really well. He's made a good addition to the family. And he's just pooed on my trunkies. Isn't that great? He's getting a little bit more adventurous now, so he doesn't tend to be on me and Jack quite as much, although he does still obviously like to interact with you, but he's getting a bit more adventurous, aren't you? But yeah, we basically wanted a pet, but even though we love dogs and we sort of share our family dog Milo, which again you've probably seen on my social media, but pick on what foundation you want. We wanted a pet that will bring a bit of life to the house but won't massively sort of impede on our freedom, because that is something that we really value. Obviously, because with the dog you've got to, you know, walk them twice a day and can't necessarily go out all day and all that kind of thing, so he's perfect for that. Not that we massively go on days out and stuff a lot anyway, and you come out in the evening, so you typically have to come out 4 to 5 hours a day, which would definitely be more than doable for me and Jack, especially with Jack working shifts. So yeah, fitted in really well. Our perfect little addition, as long as he stops pooing on me, but it's part of the parcel, isn't it, guys? I've actually put a towel across my mirror, but he's still managing to get underneath the towel and look at the other bird that's in the room, you know, so it's a fun game for Rio. Definitely keeps him amused. He's just chilling on my camera stand at the moment, so you can probably still hear him flittering around a little bit. But thank you for watching, guys. I hope you have enjoyed this video and having a chat. Sometimes I just think it's important to talk about these important topics that are going on in the world. So yeah, if you wanted to have a chat or talk about anything, please just comment below. But I hope you stay safe and stay well. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. Look after yourselves, check in on your loved ones, and I will speak to you all soon. Mwah. Bye, guys.